If you ever struggled to set the right return on ad spend target, or you've ever wondered if you're spending too much on ads, or maybe you're not spending enough, well, in this week's video, I'm actually going to be showing you a clip from one of our live weekly Q&As inside of the Evolve community, where I helped show a member who actually used the exact strategies inside of Evolve to scale from $5,000 per day to over $40,000 per day, exactly how to figure out what the right KPIs and what the right targets for his business should be based off of his objective and essentially based off of how much he is spending and what kind of performance he can get from his ads. So again, if you struggle to figure out the perfect balance between how much to spend and what kind of efficiency you should keep on your advertising platforms, I highly encourage you to watch this video all the way to the end, and I hope you enjoy.
So here's the thing, right? Like it depends on how much you want to spend or how much you're comfortable to spend, because more revenue doesn't always mean better. Like for example, though, with this client, if you're in an instance where your break even is 1.3 and you're spending 100K and say you're getting like a 3x return on ad spend, like that's 125 G's in profit. But if you bump to like 150 at a 2x, you're actually going to make less profit.
Oh, I see.
Right? This is what you want to look at too, because at the end of the day, we look at this from a client's perspective as well. Like, because a lot of our clients typically have like 65% margins. It's like a 1.5, so our target's 2.5. If they're making 300K in revenue with 100K in profit, like that's pretty solid, right?
Yeah.
But say we wanted to come in and go crazy and spend like 200K at like a 2, and let's just say like a 2.2, maybe try to get to the same amount of profit, roughly the same profit. So for them to basically make $4,000 more in bottom line profit, they have to spend an extra 100K, and they also have to deliver an extra $160,000 worth of product. Right? Sometimes increasing the volume and scale does, the only thing that I'll say is like you do get a load more customers. So like, again, if you have an LTV and you're trying to build a business that has a lot of value, customers are huge. And so like the fact that you can acquire, 160K more worth of customers, like that could be really beneficial for you. But for some of our clients that just have a one and done product, spending 100K more to only make $4,000 more in profit, for them, they're like, it's not really worth it. That's why it depends on your business. It depends on your margin. So play around with this. It'll tell you your break even. And then this is where you can basically be like, okay, what do I need to spend to make the amount of profit that I want to make? And like, what am I comfortable making? Because for example, though, like if you spending 100 at a 3, but now say we drop our target down to a 2.3 and we can spend 4 times as much, well, then that's worth it, right? Now you're making a lot more money and almost $1 million. Say we're spending $100,000 a month at a 3x return on ad spend and we have 70% margin. Right. Again, what winning ads will do is winning ads give you efficiency so that you can spend further, right? So say we find a winning ad that gets us to a 4x. Maybe all I want to do now is just focus on efficiency. And we do have some brands that do this where it's like, hey, I don't really care too much. It's like on scaling, I just want to focus on efficiency. And so like you can just focus on creating ads that get you more efficiency, and you can do that. What if I scale right now? So say without any winning ads, because obviously finding a winning ad is hard. What if we were making 110K? What if I just drop my targets to 2.5 and I scaled to 200,000 a month? I don't need to do anything different. I just need to spend more and lower my target. If you can do that, then it makes sense, right? So that's where it's like, it comes down to how much you want to spend, because sometimes we get into a client's account and we're like, I can make you a little more money just by spending, and that's easy. I can press buttons to do that, right? Like finding a winning ad is not as easy. Take a look at where you're at and like what target is, and then be like, okay, just play with some numbers and model it out. One other thing I'll say though is like, for example, we had a client that literally was spending like 30K a month at like a 1.8, making 5K in profit. And then we just came in, spent the same amount, but got him up to a 3x. And now he was making 50K a month in profit. And so it's like, sometimes just like focusing on efficiency as well can get you the result that you want. It's just, do you want to have a load of customers or do you want to have more profit?
Okay. So you do have an LTV business, like you shouldn't, like the main thing you should just try to get for more customers regardless of.
If I have an LTV, like if I know, okay, people on average are going to spend $75 with me, but month 3 they're going to be at 130 or 140, like dude, I'll run off of that all day long, because then you're also building like way more value in the business as well, just because you have more customers. That's the biggest thing. And so for like a lot of people, when you go, especially if you're trying to sell, like CAC to LTV is the number that they look at. So it's like, okay, what is your LTV? And like the more data you have to support that LTV, the better as well. And then you also have an asset. With the difference between a brand that has 10 million customers to a million is a huge multiple.
So if you enjoyed that video and you want to actually be a part of those weekly calls over at Evolve, make sure you click the link in the description down below to go and check it out and see if you're a good fit. And if you actually want the exact calculator that I showed in the video, there's also a link to that down below over on our website at easyamedia.com. Hopefully after watching this, you can now use that calculator to figure out what the sweet spot is for your brand to have a proper scaling ROAS or overall targets for you to grow your business. Thank you again so much for taking the time to watch this week's video, and I'll see you in the next one.